Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear Venerable Sangha, today we are going to talk about the mindfulness. Last week we had been having the silent meditation all over the monastery. We had been developing the mindfulness and practice. Here the mountain, this area, they are training silent practice continuously. We are going to encourage together with this Dhamma talk, going to little bit encourage further practice. So today our subject is mindfulness. So valuability of the mindfulness, and also how to train the mindfulness, how we judge whether we are developing the mindfulness. So that what are the danger if we are not developing the mindfulness. So few ways we can focus the mindfulness and understand. Later, we can develop the mindfulness and see the difference. So our Buddha always encouraged for us to develop the mindfulness. So in the various ways Buddha had been explaining, and one of the very long suttas, also the Satipatthana Sutta, also explaining, Buddha explaining 4 ways of mindfulness. If anyone train mindfulness in 4 fields, they can have the attainments, Buddha explained. So various ways Buddha try to encourage us to develop the mindfulness. So our subject is mindfulness. We can reflect ourselves whether we are developing or not, how much we have developed. So the further development, how we'll do. So this focusing we can do with this Dhamma discussion. The mindfulness, generally we know, if we forgot something, oh my mindfulness, I didn't have mindfulness. Some they forget, oh that Venerable don't have mindfulness. Some they break the glass or that any cups, anything, throw and break. Some they say, oh that Venerable don't have mindfulness. This common saying. Also some connection there. If we aware, if it is going to fall down, we feel it, we can protect it. But we are not aware, we cannot protect it because our mindfulness weaknesses. Also this is general. But that general mindfulness there in the worldly people, most of them they have. Our Buddha's idea is not that mindfulness, we call another type mindfulness called Samma Sati, the right mindfulness. Right mindfulness means mindfulness trained together aiming liberation is right mindfulness. This mindfulness, the growing with the meditation object, not only the meditation object, this mindfulness growing with all the good object, wholesome object. If anyone train wholesome object, mindfulness growing. Think of Buddha, mindfulness growing. Think of the breath, also mindfulness growing. Think of any of the meditation object or wholesome object, mindfulness growing. So this mindfulness had to train various way. When they are training, so at the beginning, they don't know about the mindfulness. Later sometimes little bit mindfulness come, or can talk bit mindfully with the awareness, can little bit think with awareness, and also can do little bit with the awareness. Now understand, oh, my mindfulness very weak. I don't have proper mindfulness. Beginning don't know anything about mindfulness. But late only little bit mindfulness come up time only understand my mindfulness very weak. Very little mindfulness only I have. Little bit only bodily postures and also my thinking and my talking, I can focus little bit only. Majority of my talking, thinking, postures not mindful. So understand. Later bring up mindfulness. Try to bring up talking time mindful and also walking time mindful and also other our bodily action together mindful. The mindfulness gradually become stronger. Then later all the steps mindful, all the talking mindful, all the other action mindful, all the thinking mindful. Up to that level mindfulness come up. That level only start developing the mindfulness. Up to that level we are training how to develop mindfulness. Up to that level we are training only. That time mindfulness not growing. When you are capable of continuously your focusing your steps, continuously focusing your thoughts, most of the time can do, means now mindfulness growing. Earlier mindfulness not growing, maybe one step mindful, another step no mindful, one talking mindful, another talking no mindful, another that thinking mindful, another thinking no mindful, not growing properly. But later start continuing mindful. Feel now all the time mindfulness remain. Walking also mindfulness remain. Talking also mindfulness remain. Thinking also mindfulness remain. Now only mindfulness become indriya, growing. That stage still some chances breaking, but now can maintain. Still not strong, chances breaking. So meditator further had to develop the mindfulness, then later it become, after some time become stable, not changing. Stable, even any emotional things come, mindfulness breaking. Any other defilement object come, mindfulness not breaking. Whatever happen outside, mindfulness not breaking. This is called bala, stable. Mindfulness is stable. So that mindfulness growing up to that level, it takes time. The mindfulness subject now you understand, it is very big subject. So that similarly other subject, it takes time to have the experience and go to the deepest level. So immediately be mindful, not easy, very rarely. a bodhisattva or some of the highest people, they had been having past life, very good development. So present life, they can have immediate mindfulness. But most of us, we have to train mindfulness and come to the higher level. You know, our Bodhisattva, Lord Buddha, his birth only 5 months, so that he sit cross-legged and concentrate under the tree, and he got the jhana concentration, mindfulness, very deep jhana concentration. Because of past life experiences, very rarely some of the life can happen, but most of our lives not happening these things. Mindfulness had to train in order, and later mindfulness continue. Later mindfulness had to stabilize. Now we can understand what level I am in, how much I have to train mindfulness, how much I have to develop mindfulness. Now we can understand and determine. The mindfulness, we understand now our levels. Mindful level from the beginning, they're little bit growing, but again breaking, growing and breaking. That's why that level is not, we not take as the developed level. When the mindfulness continuously develop, is more valuable. That time only keep continuously developing, so that the mindfulness that developing and again breaking chances there, that mindfulness further develop up to the stable level. So that stable level only you can have the attainment path process. Before don't have the attainments. So that mindfulness we have to train 2 ways for attainment path process. One way only not enough. Conventional development. Mindfulness, we develop conventional object together. Example, we develop mindfulness with your steps, mindfulness with your talking, bodily action, your thinking. This training cannot give the attainment. This training is still developing the mindfulness, also valuable, but cannot get the attainment, that training. So then later you have to train this mindfulness with the ultimate objects. Then that object only that develop the deeper wisdom, and that wisdom only can give the attainments. So that mindfulness need train with the conventional mindfulness and ultimate mindfulness. These two together only can have the attainments. Before we are expecting, but not happening. Some they are thinking, oh, little bit practice, I can attain path portion, can happen, can think, but then maybe they are thinking, still I already attained, but not real one. Real one, we need to have the proper experience and proper development. If it is very easier, Buddha not encourage us so much. You know the MahāSatipatthana Sutta, those places Buddha encouraged many. Why so many? So deeper mindfulness had to develop so deeply, then only can attain path notion. But some of the people naturally they have mindfulness. Such a one very fast they can attain. Others, they had to train mindfulness deeply up to the deepest level. That some of the school boys, that is called pupils, they go to the grade 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 12 and university, after university. So different level. So they are focusing higher grade of their job or that their position. So they are thinking, so that in the grade 4, 5, 6, they think, oh, I may get this position. Not happening. Grade 8, 10 also still thinking, oh, now my study is good, I may get this position. It's still not happening. Grade go up to the 12 also, still expecting not happening. University level, still expecting not happening. After university, still expecting not happening. After some experience, still expecting not happening. So after very well experience, come, he get this position. So that like that, that we need to come to the correct level, only we get the attainment path portion. If not come to the correct level, we not get the attainment path portion. Until that, we need to train mindfulness, so that when we are going to school up to the grade 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because of parents encouraging, because of teachers encouraging, they are forcing, only we are going to school, not because of our understanding. But after grade 5, 6, 7, we understand, yes, I have to do the education. If I do education, it's for me. Now understand and develop education and growing up. Same way, our mindfulness, we have tried to train because of teachers encourage, because of Buddha encourage, only we are little bit try, again breaking, again little bit try, like we are like the basic studies level up to the grade 5, 6, 7, before level. Now you understand, now your mindfulness can keep continuously maintain, like you are come to the grade 7, 8 now. You are in the grade 8 now, means now you understand, you have to develop mindfulness, you have to keep mindfulness, you have to maintain this mindfulness. So, but still not attain path portion. Now you can maintain your mindfulness continuously. It's good level. Now, but you are still in the grade 8. So then training this mindfulness continuously, go to the, you are getting through the next examination, 10, 12 universities, further developing the mindfulness, then come the experience, so that now the mindfulness becomes stronger. So then only you get the attainment path process. So that mindfulness continuous level is very important for ordination practice. If cannot bring up to the continuous level, means we still below 8, grade 8, means still we are in the lower level. But we should not worry if we are in that level. We should not worry, we have to train. Walk in time train, talk in time train, meditation time training, thinking time training. So gradually you can bring up to that level. You have heard of MahāThera. His age 18, 19, he ordained young, very young. 19, he was able this level. He had told us in book also mentioning, he can maintain continuous mindfulness. Walking all the steps mindful. Talking all the thing mindful. Thinking all the thing mindful. So focusing books all mindful means his mindful level very deeper. But that time he not become MahāThera. That time is still young venerable, still developing venerable, like that. That is basic level. So later, together this mindfulness, increase studies, increase practice, later meditation, more deep experiences, later only become more valuable and experience, and also very big MahāThera, to become big one to the world later on. So that, but age 18, 19 also could do continuous mindfulness. That time, not so deep wisdom, not so deep the vipassana knowledge and concentration. So like that, mindfulness level, beginning, first aim, we have to train up to the grade 8, means up to the at least continuous maintain level. We have to bring training, first training. We walk in time train, and talk in time training, and think in time training. So this training we have to do it more and more. Then you come up to the continuous level. So this way we have to bring up our mindfulness, so that if we are in the basic level, should not worry. We have to train, we have to try. Every day you have to keep your aim. At least grade 8, you have to come up to the grade 8. You have to keep this aim. Then that later, ordination life become more and more valuable life. Now you understand our level, what level we are in. If you are in the lower level, should not worry that we have to determine at least up to the grade 8, we have to bring up our mindfulness. So that is called grade 8, I will explain. Up to that level at least, we have to train. Then the next part very easy. So that way, walking mindfully, talking mindfully, eating mindfully. Now up to that level come. So ordination life, next part very easier. We need to train, but further development very easier. So ordination life we have to determine. If not, we are wasting our time. Maybe we are meditating. Meditating is not the reason. Maybe some people they are meditating but not developing. Some are meditating, they are developing. Means correct way. They are developing. They are effective. Development effective means they are developing. Some are development not effective means not developing. So effective development is very important. So that that sitting time we are spending time with the meditation object little bit, some object little bit, and walking time also same, and eating time also same. So not developing up to that level. But sitting time you try to focus your meditation object, walking time try to focus meditation object, eating time try to focus meditation object or any focusing. So this way you train, then you get this ability. Today you train, tomorrow more mindfulness. Tomorrow you train further, mindfulness is next day. Next day you train further, mindfulness is next day. So mindfulness gradually come up. So this mindfulness growing up with the continuous training very important. So that meditation practice is not the main thing. Main thing is the effective meditation practice. You are practicing with the effective way. So general way practice is in the world many they are doing, but they cannot experience the deeper concentration, deeper mindfulness and deeper wisdoms. But few of the percentage of these practitioners they can experience deeper mindfulness, concentration and wisdom because it is effective. So effective practice very important, continuous practice very important. So we should we understand our level and determine to increase our practice. So the mindfulness now we understand it is very important to bring up to the deepest level. So that we know the mindfulness in various ways, Buddha explaining. One way is explaining Bojjhanga, another way is Indriya and Bala. So Indriya means that a growing period, Bala is well grown period. Bojjhanga also 3 levels, 3 stages. Bojjhanga also training period, growing period and stable period. Training period is still mindfulness you are training, so that period breaking, again training, again breaking, it is training. Still you cannot do continuous mindfulness. Now that training period is still not developing, but later you can be mindful, continuous step mindful, talking mindful, and also your action mindful, thinking mindful. Now continuously can do it. Up to that level your mindfulness come up means now that you are developing period. So later mindfulness become more stable. Whatever the reason mindfulness not breaking, this is Bojjhanga is stable period. On that time, if you bring mindfulness up to that level, only you can get the attainment path portion if the wisdom complete. If not, cannot attain. Below, we are expecting attainment but cannot do it. Example, that you are developing time, you are thinking, may I have the attainment path portion? Never had happened. It is not the not enough development. So that, but if you are developed very well, go up to the deepest level, now mindfulness not breaking all the time, is stable. That level, even you are thinking or not, you have very easy attainment path process. So we have to bring our mindfulness to the deepest level. Then our own life also is shining and brighter, so that we can brighten the Buddha Sasana also. So that we know our venerables, they're working very hard for developing this meditation practice. And also most of us that we haven't given up many things, and also big renunciation and come to the forest and develop the meditation practice. So further we have to keep this effort and determinations to bring up our mindfulness and bring up our deeper meditation training, so that we wish all the Venerable to fulfill all the development of the meditation and fulfill all the mindfulness and attain all the path, fruitions and nibbana. Sadhu